And we're back for more Genshin Impact. I'm out of prison temporarily. I took a leave, which I don't think you could do in prison. But we did find Childs. Yeah, he was at the Cat's Tail playing Genius Invocation TCG. In case you didn't watch episode 3 of my Genius Invocation TCG. But anyway, before we go back to prison to try and solve everything that's going on with Lenny, Childs, you know, everything. Yeah, here. I think we should turn around. We should do a little roll. So I can make up to 12 wishes. So let's do 10 for right now. Let's see what we got. 5-star. What do we get? What do we get? Yeah, get that out of the way. Out of the way. Out of the way. Out of the. Yeah. Sing chill. Out of the way. Neuvillette. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Please tell me that I got another 5-star or another 4-star. All you can do with that. I'm happy to have a 5-star. Okay, it was nothing but 3 stars after the 2 of them. Ooh, we got the Supreme Justice. Fonse. All right, make sure that we can get everything that we can get. What? And when does this reset? Another 14 days? Okay. We'll be fine. And we can't get anything else. We can only make up to 4 wishes now, which is not enough to do a 10 roll. So let's just go on back to Fonse. Look at all this space. All this empty space. Look at all this unfilled empty space that could be filled. I gotta get to that at some point. But that's not what we're up to right now. Oh, look at all this. This is a mess. All right. Let's finally go back to prison. Just gotta say that bluntly. We're going back to prison. Because that's where we're at in life. Because Paimon had to break the law and eat a cake that belonged to the Archon. I would never. Personally, I would We need to go to the infirmary. We're on the wrong floor. Yeah, I think this is the better teleport point. All right, yes, infirmary over on the other side. Let's run. Let's run. Because gotta get there, even though it takes some time. I ran out of stamina. I mean, can you blame me for going to the last waypoint? I mean, look, we're pretty much over top of it right now, and it's closer, but yeah, I was wrong. Wrong floor. Hi, dude. And wow, it's not gonna let us get in there. Yo, Fremen there, you okay? All right, it's still on auto.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
Lenny. Lynette.
Aether and Paimon, too.
They're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine, and you are no longer in any danger. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long.
What are you talking about? I saw you last episode. You were unconscious, but I saw you.
There's something wrong with the seawater.
Yeah, it's got
It's okay.
the primordial seawater
We can
in it,
talk about it after you've recovered.
supposedly.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it.
What happened after you snuck into the pipes?
Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
I'm gonna watch this story play out. Why can't we go to the pipes? Okay, maybe we're not gonna see the story play out. It's just gonna show us the pipes and say, ha, use your imagination. Oh, nope, we're getting to see it. I'm just impatient.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
Where could Master Child be?
Cat's tail. Playing cards. Oh, we're playing as... Why you got my little baby Octo? I don't think you should have my little baby Octo. Why? Because it's my baby Octo. Okay, he's a Claymore user. Good to know, good to know, good to know. Anything worth reading here? Nope. So we're gonna get a little test run with him and his abilities. That's typical for a character. Ooh, he cryo. He got a penguin. Huh. Interesting. Does something happen if you hit something on the countdown?
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
You think he did it? Start it. Oh, one of these type of platform movement things. See, nothing on this side. This is gonna cause the whole thing to twist, ain't it? Twist and shout. Alright, now we go this way. So there's nothing to battle yet. Kinda wanna have something to battle. I wanna see this dude in action. Should I hit both? Okay, so that brought it up. This one's gonna rotate it. So we can use it again, right?
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Ah, I see. It's getting stopped at the pipe. So let me lower it again, and then I'll turn it, and then I'll bring it back. Go down. Yes, that's it. Now to twist.
Yeah.
So knowing they gotta run all the way over here just to twist it again. But you know, it go how it go. Alright, now we gotta bring it up. Come to me. Alright, and boom. Anything over there? Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
I want to use up all the stamina. What if I gotta fight and I need to be able to dodge? I don't have any way to tank hits now that I don't have Zhongli. I'm only using Fremine. Let's drop. Not too fast, though. Let's have some control. There's something up with this box?
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
Child shouldn't have a problem with the water. He's not from Fontaine. He's Schneznayan. Dive into the water to continue your investigation. Do I need to dip down lower? Yes, I did.
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction.
You should be, but are you is the question. I know he's saying that he is, but
There are traces here too. I need to keep going.
obviously he's about to meet some trouble. Oh, my little Octo isn't in a bubble anymore.
The traces are gone, but I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait, what the?
The water is leaving him.
My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on?
You're under the water.
No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
This is where his story ends. Oh, nope. Oh, shoot, he dropping health fast. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Get out of the water.
I can't die here.
Come on, Fremine.
This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater.
That's why I don't like swimming.
I have to push on.
And he's out. Oh, but she's already here. I thought it's been like days since he went out. This all seems to have happened within like an hour span. Even time stretching everything that's happened, this seems like it would be in an hour span. Because obviously that only took like, what, 4 or 5 minutes?
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Yep, here you are.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You gotta rest
You're
now.
still too weak, Fremine. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Thank
Miss
you.
Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
Yeah.
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Got it. I'll go talk to him.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Libby?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
I feel that.
Lenny,
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
I feel that.
understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Shouldn't there be somebody that watches
Thank
him,
you.
though? 'Cause even though he thinks that he shouldn't leave, that doesn't mean that he won't leave. He eventually. Something in the Adventure Handbook that we accomplished. I don't know why I keep getting these. I haven't been doing the daily rewards. So, yeah, it keeps giving me credit for it, though. Maybe it's because I'm in prison, so it doesn't expect me to actually do them. It's weird. I'm pretty sure that's for doing all the daily tasks. which I do need to get back to doing, because once I'm done with all this, I still have all the character stories to do. And I need keys to do that, and you only get keys by doing daily commissions. Because I have 0 keys right now, and I have 0 daily commissions for that. Go to the Duke's office. I remember how to get there. I'll just need some stamina to get there more quickly. Hold up a second. What is this battle pass thing that I got? Claim daily commission rewards 4 times. I didn't do any daily commissions though. That's the weird part. Alright. And this is the entry door, right? Yes, it is. Chi-Chi. Oh, no. Enter in the office. I guess we're going upstairs. I didn't even get to see who was there. They just cut to the scene.
Excuse me.
We're back.
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition has stabilized?
It has.
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
What if he died?
I've been
We had to
expecting
inform him
those
that he
two,
died.
but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegeween?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Yes, you were down there too.
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
All right, we got stuff to talk
want to
about.
explain yourself, Risley?
Yeah, we want to know what's going on.
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Please, enlighten us as much as you'd like.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You
were checking our
managed
progress?
to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you!
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremenet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Are you?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
That's not how it works in
right.
American prisons.
Paimon wanted to ask.
Even though
Invited
a lot of
Cloran
times
down here.
whoever runs the prison is
Me,
pretty
of
criminal.
course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremenet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
So the Forbidden Zone really exists? What's
That's
inside
not
of it?
something you should be asking after.
not?
Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts.
Well, if he's in the
All I
Forbidden
need to
Zone, we
prove
need
to
to know
you
about it.
is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance.
How you know?
That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
I don't think it really is.
We've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah.
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Yes.
Follow me.
Are we actually following him, or... He is over here. Was he gonna show us a secret corridor? Secret staircase! It's a secret staircase!
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
Not good
It
enough for you
seems
if you
you've
landed up
forgotten
in
just
here.
what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
A prison. Normally a secret passageway in a prison would be dealt with. Then again, you are the warden. Is this an
Stand on
elevator?
the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
You just told Paimon to stand. You do realize Paimon don't stand. Once everyone has taken their position on the circular plate, it begins to slowly move downwards. Paimon doesn't stand! She floats! But she started moving at the same rate, so she
So,
has to have like
this
some
is the
sense of
Forbidden
distance
Zone?
between the floor and
Honestly, for a
herself,
place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
even when it's moving. And that is...
What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well,
Sense.
Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Okay. Just show us. And then we'll decide. What, do you guys like torture people down here? Are we gonna find Child in pieces? And he's gonna be put back together as a cyborg?
So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
What's in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
Still can't tell what's in the middle of the room. This room is really empty with nothing here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive sluice gate? Sluice? I don't know what
I've
that
been
means.
interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it,
Why?
but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it.
True.
The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over
That
the
looks
past
like it's
year,
worrying.
the needle has crept upwards from its original position.
Oh, okay, so it did
Likely
move
because
since.
some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated.
Yep.
Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
Water pressure or temperature? I feel like both are going to be wrong. Or they're both going to be right somehow.
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature
Like?
should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea.
That makes sense.
I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater?
That's what he said.
But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Here's an interesting thing about water. Have you ever seen a split of water between fresh and salt? It literally has a difference to it that you can visibly see. It's interesting. They don't really mix. So, seeing as that it's surrounding this whole entire underground, underwater, undersea building, stronghold. Why are there so many interchangeable words? But seeing as it's like that, it makes sense that it hasn't just slowly seeped out and integrated itself into all the water surrounding Fontaine. How it can stay concentrated in an area and not really move yet. And the concentration is steadily rising. The primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea.
Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us! Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate.
Sluice,
for some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
If the primordial sea is leaking through, if the gate falls, all Fontaine will fall with it.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
Yeah, not good.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring.
Tell us anyway.
It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single
careless.
founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontanian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
We're in danger.
Indeed. That's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Do you believe in prophecies? What if he started the prophecy?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
Will the third really exist if it's actually happening, though? I guess for the Traveler and Paimon, yes. For people that are Fontanian, it's too late to actually panic. So, as the Duke of Meripede, just what do you plan to do about it?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Okay.
This is it.
What
Your
is it?
Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
We know.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
We different.
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
Good question.
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
He
They
does.
seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
We are not harmless. We are very violent.
Well, how
Or
about
at
some
least
reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Who?
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not a local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Probably in
Edwin's
passing.
main areas of research were archeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the Fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Not the best
Gotta
bet.
admit, I'm tempted as well.
That's not their plan, though, I
Guys,
don't think.
focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Ooh, are they together?
Was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man!
Okay, Bill
If I
Clinton.
dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Come on. It's time to
Your
be stopping
constant
surprised about
amazement
doors.
makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
Can you give me a puppy?
But Paimon
Actually,
really
don't.
thinks
My dog wouldn't be
everything's
happy with
super cool.
Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
This is...
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontanian history?
only what they've revealed to us so much
Not
so far.
much at all.
And even then, I've been pretty busy to
Well,
retain
then maybe
everything.
you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty.
Okay.
According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
That's how the United
believe
States
that
was
too?
established, yes.
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Wait,
Were
are you trying to
inspired by the
be
legendary
Noah building an
Fortuna?
ark?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to
Here
cope
come
with
the
the impending
prisoners,
disaster.
2 by 2. This is a plan for the ages. Can't you share your plan with everyone? I think we'll go with the first one.
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
I bet he really meant that I need some tea to soothe my throat. Constantly talking, like being a voice actor, that's not easy. I've done audiobooks before, and yeah, after like 3 pages
I'll
of
leave
reading,
you
it's like,
here
oh,
for
I
now.
need a rest.
Oh, thank you so much.
So wait, are we gonna
No
tell?
worries. But don't forget, it's up to
Our
you whether or
Fatui
not you
friends?
want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
He means that my actions will decide the next steps Lenny's group takes. In other words, if I want to tell Lenny the truth, I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Yeah, we will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Are you sure you look forward to it? Alright. Return to the infirmary. Thankfully, they put us right outside of it. So it sucked to have to run all the way back up here. Although there's still quite a bit of running. And as soon as we step inside again.
Welcome
We learned
back.
everything.
Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
This is based on France.
Actually, now that you mention
You
it,
know, the
I just
colonialism is
remembered
more
something
like
now.
the Americas.
While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Seishween.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah.
He explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Lenny sounds a lot more like his old self.
Yeah,
Feeling better now,
I
Lenny?
took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed
Hating
now.
when like either one that you pick
Nobody
is
else
still
is
gonna
around,
be
and Miss
sad.
Sejuin is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Meripede.
All right. Theory number 1 is the check.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
All right. Dish out the other 2.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why?
Worried about a panic?
I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Meropide is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Neuvillette. Wriothesley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Wriothesley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
Linny's grasp of the big picture is amazing.
You're super smart!
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question.
Lay it on us.
If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see.
Actually, no, that's probably right.
He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly.
There'd have to be a different place to enter
I
into
don't
that
have enough
ship area.
information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
After some deliberation, you share your information you just learned with Linny and company. While sharing what you saw, you emphasize that it's not the time for disputes.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Wriothesley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you.
True.
If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Not sure if I want to be family with Fatui, but
Thank you for
They're not
protecting
bad
Lenny when
guys,
it really
these three.
mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
like Child, I wouldn't
why
want to be
are you being
related
so
to him.
formal all of a sudden?
Don't mention it. We can work together again if necessary.
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aww, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
Was that warm safety that I just heard? What was that?
Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Alright, so go to the cafeteria. That's pretty basic. Is something gonna happen at the cafeteria? Or are we just gonna do an overview of everything? Just Aether and Paimon. Alright, and...
Maybe I wasn't meant for this.
Are you kidding me?
Served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Why is Aether standing?
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
I hate when the game does that. It's like, oh, let's go to a cutscene while you're in the middle of the air, you're dead.
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
It looks like a hot pot.
You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria. What would you like to eat?
Huh? We can choose?
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Then I'll have the tastier stuff you have to offer. I'll get the biggest portion you have to offer. Let's go tastiest.
Me too! Don't forget Paimon!
I think Paimon will go with bigger.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
We'd go with tastier. After a while, the meals Sigwin ordered for you arrive, unlike days prior. Also brings you drinks. They taste a little strange, but she insists they're nutritious. Okay, the shakes generally taste pretty terrible. Oh my gosh,
so
slow down.
delicious.
Amazing. Free dinners are the absolute best.
Is this how it feels to be freeloaders?
Paimon.
Wait a second, we did do plenty of work after all.
Paimon,
Feeling
you're
full
already a
yet?
freeloader.
How's the food? Delicious!
Exquisite, thank you. Besides the milk. I mean, everything was super delicious. Let's go with the first one.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
She really wants to understand
Sigwin,
people's emotions.
Do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
Maybe a little bit of both.
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a
Thought so.
Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must
Yes,
know
we've been
what
over
you're
that plenty of
thinking if I
times.
want to take good care of you.
That phrase could
You're
be taken
really
in a
good
weird
at
way.
taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Paimon, you're shorter.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear. Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well. Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Glorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Glorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger. You were all super considerate and really thought everything through. It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Neuvillette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
But that doesn't make sense at all. It's hard to imagine Neuvillette outside of his office.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Why, thank you. Thank you kindly. Return to the dormitories. Let's teleport upstairs. I don't want to walk more than I have to. Ever. I do that enough in a day. In real life. Walking dogs. My legs are tired. I'm tired. I've had a lot of walks recently. I had 5 today, 6 yesterday. I had 3 on both days of the weekend. And then 7 on Friday. 6 on Thursday. Yeah, I'm walking a lot. Oh, wait. I gotta bring him back because the game was like, let's kill Aether. Thanks, game.
Life goes on.
Let's wait for him to get some health back before we move forward. Come on, more. It is nice that you just have a character that can just heal you up like this. Wait, if I do this... Oh, do I have to hit somebody with it? Oh, that sucks.
Rise.
Let's see if we'll restore while we're going through the cutscene. Nice if it did.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Yeah, I'm also getting there. That was instantaneous. Wow. She really immediately fell asleep.
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
For free? Good night. Something finna happen.
Out of my way! Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running?
Why are they running?
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
Pipe burst. What's that sound? Paimon, wake up. We need to go out and see what's going on. Check on the situation outside.
What happened? Why is everyone running around?
There was that one dude covering his head.
What are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait!
Shouldn't we know?
What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
Would you talk to us?
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Yeah, what up, though?
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveron, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Laveron was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey,
What's
shut
wrong
up!
with it being your idea? So really the
Okay,
time
whatever. The point is, you should come with us.
you said His Grace said to evacuate outwards?
Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
That means whatever happened must have happened down below. Oh no. Isn't the gate at the very bottom?
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Pretty sure it is that thing.
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
To handle
We
things.
have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, be careful!
Thanks!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Go to the lower office.
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards.
No. We will not. We're also not affected by the primordial seawater. Although, what if us resonating with hydro actually made so that we were susceptible? Hi, we're here.
They're here.
Just
Oh,
like
they're
I
away from
said.
us.
We have it!
Are we gonna fight Kyogre?
You're just in time. But
gonna be in its
be ready
origin
to
form?
run.
It's unlatching. You know there's gotta be like a monster. There's no way that it just emerges as water and that's that. Okay, I want him. If you be using that gauntlet when you use him, I want him as a character unlocked. You know, I want to put it past it being the Abyss that's doing this.
Three, two, one.
Oh, he better get to sliding. You better get sliding.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
So we gotta hurry.
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
5 minutes.
That depends on us.
Okay, 6 minutes. What if we had to start controlling them and had to continuously seal up the door so it didn't burst? I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I'm saying what if?
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately.
Why?
Farina will soon be meeting with the Knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Okay, you can explain everything else to me later.
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
That was really him though, right? That wasn't some imposter? Because I'm not completely sure that the Knave is actually trying to save Fontaine.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there. The Knave is probably here already. We need to hurry. Are you two the Traveler and Paimon?
Yep.
Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
Oh, I'm sure I'll go violent. But I will do my best. It just goes skipping off. We're here. Oh, this might be the one time she's actually happy to see us.
So you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Yes.
Of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
Yeah, no. So this is the Knave, the head of the House of the Hearth, and the Lenny siblings' father. She certainly does not seem easy to deal with. It's a pleasure to meet you too.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time.
With those huge
See
cups?
This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
She seems friendly enough. That can't be all there is to her. The Knave is a force to be reckoned with. I should be very cautious around her.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
I think that we shouldn't be eating it. It's quite tasty, and I think Paimon agrees too.
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I.
Wait, Child should have no reason to have said something like that.
I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
I have faith in his abilities.
So since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
That's what you wanted to add? Furina looks quite nervous. There must be some kind of bad blood between her and the knave.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Furina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Iudex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette.
I managed to find a few leads on his whereabouts.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
These are the cat's tail. In Mondstadt. Playing cards.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meripede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
Oh no. Paimon's statement just left us wide open.
The Fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
We do not. But there is also no evidence that he's been injured or killed.
Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
Just turning up the pressure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to convince her, but I can at least try to distract her from Furina. That sounds good to me, yes.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
What? What?
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Furina.
I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
I'd say so.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
I've been wondering, could it be that there's two Archons here? And he's one of them? I think he needs some help.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
Yeah, he ain't just a strong justice. He more.
This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
So, what next?
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
For now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
I think we're about to find out if it did or not. Does it kind of cut away in the middle of the conversation? Are we going to go back to finishing up that conversation? Probably after this whole conversation is done, that'll be the end of the episode.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house.
She getting the real of it, huh?
As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you, it beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I don't think she's lying.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me.
Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on.
Where's the wind coming from that's blowing those flowers?
I will be able to hold my head up high.
Furina's not acting like her usual self. She's actually seriously refuting the Knaive's accusations. She means what she says. She's not putting on a front.
Then I ask you, Miss Furina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
So, was that all a lie? Or can she really not tell us? She was so full of conviction and confidence just now. Now she's deflated like a popped balloon. I don't think she's lying. I think she actually can't tell us.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
Now I think she's fronting a bit.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
Why does she have to be the one that does?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow
She's
me
lying
to
now.
jog your memory. Miss Furina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Furina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Furina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Furina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
They said only 16 are made today. These aren't topics I can speak about. I don't even know what Neuvillette's task was. If I had to guess, he probably went down to deal with the surging primordial sea. But can he really deal with it all by himself? And Furina is being is Furina being truthful or not? 50-50.
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Why you want to see more?
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
I don't feel so confident about that. The Nate proceeds to change the topic and bring up a number of less significant matters. Something about the atmosphere.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Furina's table, and I was merely catering to Miss Furina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Okay,
Very
deuces.
well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Of course.
Paimon's coming too!
Of course. Why would Paimon not go with us? Hey, let's run up out of here. This is quite the ways to go, I must say. What does she want to say to us, though? Something more is going to happen. Hopefully not now. Because I'm kind of trying to wrap up this episode.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse.
Of course.
I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought!
What do you want to say?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
There's no need. I don't think that's what you wanted to talk about.
Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children.
Was there nothing else you wanted to say?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
Well, one of them almost died.
They've been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with.
True.
It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
I don't think she is a working Archon. I think there's a different working Archon.
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
She's saying that she's gonna kill the cat too?
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Dorotries.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the Fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Ridesley.
He did mention that he did that.
So. This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Iudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
So wait, did she just share all that with us? Or was that something just for the audience?
You should know the rest. Linny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
I think she told us.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
Oh, she definitely told us.
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday.
Neuvillette? I can never see his name
He
right.
certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Okay. Yes?
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina.
May we ask what happened down there?
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate.
Ask what happened on our side. You recount the happenings of the tea parties in Neuvillette.
So as expected, the Knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
May I ask you some questions?
Permission granted.
You have enough power to force back the primordial sea. Does this mean you have a deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right?
No, he's not.
That's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
What if the real Archon is
If by
in
the phrase
Ortrice?
you guys you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
What did you sense in the Fortress of Meripede? Did you manage to protect those that needed to be defended?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
Clear skies suddenly filled with dark clouds. The rain became heavier. Light rain soon growing to a downpour. And just moments before, Neuvillette had just mentioned his sense of grief. Thinking back to that legend, and what Fremine said, it said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. Wait, Neuvillette, you can't be...
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Ooh.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He's the dragon sovereign of water.
The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
Neuvillette! Neuvillette, are you listening?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right?
No,
well,
he
if
is.
you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tevat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meropide? Paimon is a little worried.
Sure. See you later, Neuvillette.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
And return to the prison, learn more about everyone's situation. That's what we'll be doing next time. So that'll be it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, deuces.
So I wrote it in the rhyme. The Reverend Doctor got an AK, wet working. The roaches get the rays spray. My weak rhyme, my body, your best verses on game day. I touch the crowns of self-entitled kings. You leave the heat like LeBron when I melt your idols' vital things. This is Malcolm and Martin, Million Man marching Sparta, mixed with a legion of angels surrounding sons and daughters. Simon Peter with a desert eagle, waving it at Caesar. So if I was you,